Let's get her done.
Right, we are back with another Wedding Wednesday edition of Your Relationship Sucks! Exclamation point. I do enjoy these wedding ones. I have never had a wedding myself. I've been to some weddings. Weddings make people fucking nuts. So I always like these questions because people just ask stupid shit because they can't. They don't go high level here. They're too buckled down and like, you know, what color petals am I gonna have on these flowers? You know, when they're like, you know, hey, should I keep being shitty to my, you know, to my fiance because these flowers aren't right? You know, it's a dumb shit like that. So that's what we're going to answer today. Again, just like always, I don't know what's coming. This is all off the cuff. This is dangerous stuff. The most dangerous show on the internet, culturally at least. I don't know what's coming out of my mouth because I've never seen this. The audience hasn't seen this, but you have seen this. You know what's coming. So let's get into initial impressions. Hit me with it. What do you got?
Should I allow my fiance's family to stand outside the door and listen while we have sex on our wedding night?
My initial impression is absolutely 100%. Yes, 100%. 100%. Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be right. I guarantee it, actually. I guarantee I'm going to be right about that. It literally doesn't matter what you say.
Why?
I'll get into it. But I'm telling you, it literally does not matter what details you provide me because I know for a fact. I know the male mind, right? I know the male mind, and I'm telling you that I'm going to be 100% right about this.
So I'm 23-year-old male getting married to my girlfriend, a 23-year-old female, early next year if all goes to plan. I don't have a lot of family. I'm no contact with my dad for several years now. She, however, has a huge extended family. Something weird I've noticed since we got engaged is that my girlfriend's cousins make jokes about our wedding night. It's weird for them to joke about it since I'm pretty sure her family is aware we've slept together before since we share a bed at holiday gatherings and vacations. A few nights ago, we discussed wedding plans and thinking out places to go for our honeymoon if COVID clears up and we can travel by then. My girlfriend and I were brainstorming ideas when she tells me that we won't need a bridal suite right away. Obviously, I asked why. We're getting married at a pretty nice hotel, and she says that she'd like for us to stay at her parents' house. She tells me that there's a really old tradition in her family on the wedding night. The husband and wife go into the master bedroom, and they're supposed to consummate the marriage. The rest of the family are waiting outside the door so they can applaud them and cheer when they come out. Then a piece of the bedsheet is cut off and sewn into a big tapestry my girlfriend's mother owns. I think my girlfriend saw I wasn't happy because she quickly told me that we wouldn't have to actually consummate the marriage if I felt uncomfortable and that we could just pretend. I don't want anything to do with this. I'm absolutely freaked out and told her under no circumstances will I be doing the kind of thing in front of her whole family. When I came back from taking a walk to clear my head, she was noticeably acting down and still is. I don't know how I'm meant to go on from here. I really love my girlfriend and she is the woman I want to spend my life with. I'm freaked out, of course, but she is my whole world. How should I handle her family and navigate this tradition?
Okay. Yeah, I was definitely right. Here's the okay. Number one, this guy continues to call her his girlfriend like every time. I don't know if that's a concern. I can't tell if they're engaged yet. Are they? Do you think they're engaged? Honestly, yeah, I can't tell.
It's like.
But he kept saying girlfriend.
He said girlfriend multiple times, but they're getting married early next year.
Okay. Yikes, bro. Maybe get that shit sorted out. That just, I don't know. Like that's weird. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Okay. So here's the thing. I've never heard of this tradition before. And I get it. Like, you know, you could be a little pee shy or something like that, you know, like your dick might not work. I mean, I get it. Like, I understand that's a lot of pressure, right? So as a guy, and I don't know if this is the same as a woman. I honestly don't know. And you can tell me. But you know, there is like the whole, you know, if you think about it too much, then, you know, like your dick can't get hard, basically. I mean, that's basically what happens, right? You get in your own head and you're like, man, I can't you know, I'm thinking too much, and now like I want it to happen, and then like you do it, and so you psych yourself out, right?
Yeah,
And
I think the same thing happens for women. I think the consequences, if you will, are not as high, not as high though, because
I mean, I think there's like
the other person can still, it doesn't ruin the other person's time. Whereas with a guy, then you're like, oh, this, it's like more,
Right. And, and you can also get into the act and then kind of change your mind easier as a woman than you can as a guy, right? Like it's you can't actually do anything unless your dick is hard. And so it's kind of hard. I mean, there's other things you can do, but like you can't actually stick your dick in unless it's hard, right? Like, I mean, unless something weird is happening, like you just can't do it. So that's an issue. Okay. But here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. I didn't even need to know that your girlfriend wasn't pumped about this shit, like when you came back or whatever, and she's all down and stuff. Of course she's fucking down. She told you that this is a tradition in her family, okay? That means the fact that she brought it up to you means she wants to do it. But the fact that it's been a tradition in her family means that means something to her, okay? And maybe this guy doesn't understand it because he doesn't have family or whatever. I'm not really sure. But it means something to her to do it. But here's the problem, okay? Here's the problem. This guy's not understanding that this is a fucking golden opportunity. Like just a genuinely golden opportunity. Because this is a very easy sell. Hey, you know what? I like that we're doing these traditions. Okay, I think it's cool. Let's get involved. Let's cut the bed sheet or whatever. I don't know what that shit is. Like, I guess it just gets bigger and bigger. It's like a quilt. If somebody, I don't know, somebody like,
yeah, that's what I kind of, yeah.
I don't know. I can't tell. Like, is that, it's like a throw on the back of the sofa. I don't know how that works. But
it seems like something that's like hung on the wall.
Oh, that's got to be ugly as shit. But that's fine. Like, cool. You're gonna add the thing. You're gonna do the whatever. Like, that's fine. Okay. But the whole thing about making a family or being a family, right, creating a family, getting married, doing that stuff, is to also infuse some of your traditions and kind of create new traditions together, right? You kind of do that thing. You create new traditions together. Bro, she wants you to have sex in front of her family. That is a fucking license to ask her to do literally anything in the world. Literally anything. Whatever you want. Anything at all. Anything at all. That's a fucking license, bro. Absolutely. Let's start a new tradition, okay? Let's infuse a little modern culture into this bitch, okay? Whatever you want her to do, right? You want her to lick your asshole? Great. Tell her that's what you want, okay? It doesn't matter. Like, just tell her. Like, whatever you think. You're like, hey, look, I'm uncomfortable as shit. And it's going to be a mental problem for me. So I'm going to need to get mentally out of my fucking head. And the only way that's going to happen is if we do some real weird shit. Okay? And I'm talking real weird, right? Again, most people, like, I say this all the time, but most people are like, oh, I'm kinky and shit like that. No, you're not. If you're saying you're kinky, you're probably not kinky. I'm sorry. Like, that's just how that shit works. People who are actually kinky, they don't need other people to know that because they just ooze that shit. You know what I mean? Like, it just oozes off of them. And so, these people are probably not that kinky. But I'm saying, whatever this guy thinks is kinky, dude, you should be asking her. You should be telling her, like, look, I'm going to need a blowjob. I'm going to need everything. Like, what? It doesn't matter. Anything. Like, anything at all. I don't know what she does for you now. But I'm saying all that stuff she said no to, be like, no, that's what we're doing. Like, we need to do that as well. Because she doesn't know what the people were doing, right? So that's not part of the tradition. The tradition is not we have to have missionary sex or whatever. She even said, we don't have to do anything if you're uncomfortable. Boom, you tell her, look, I'm uncomfortable, and I think the only way I can do it is if we do this real freaky shit. And boom, she's gonna try it. I'm telling you right now, it's a compromise. This is the type of shit that you have to do. Now, is it weird that they stand outside or whatever? Yeah, kind of, I guess. But here's the other thing. It doesn't, he made it sound, at least in the question part, he made it sound like, or somebody made it sound like they're standing literally like they got the fucking, the cup up to the door or whatever. That's not necessarily what it sounded like to me, right? It kind of sounds to me like there's a master suite somewhere, which depending on where you are, might even be on a different level, right? And when you come out, you either like come out into a big living room or you come out like into like down the stairs or something like that. And they're just standing there and they're basically waiting for you, and then they're going to clap for you and shit like that. Like, dude, that's totally different than like they're just sitting there watching you have sex. Okay. That's a totally different thing. And here's the deal. This guy's already done this. Like, this is my thing. This guy's already done this. He already said, I'm pretty sure that his parents know that we already have fucked.
The whole family is like waiting outside the door. Like, that's part of it.
Right, but I'm saying how close to the door. That's my thing.
Like
waiting
literally
outside,
the rest of the family are waiting out right outside as it's happening.
No, I understand they're going to be there as it's happening. I can get that part. I'm saying like let's be real clear about what exactly does that mean, because I'm not entirely convinced. It might be true, but I'm not entirely convinced that they are literally going to be standing right at the door. I think they will be waiting outside the door, but if there's even a few feet between the door and you, that's a whole different thing. Mentally, I'm telling you, mentally, that's a whole different thing to get into, as opposed to somebody's like actively listening and got their fucking sonar out there and pointing that shit at your
I guess
bedroom.
the way I read it was
thing.
like exactly that, like not how you're given a lot of space, and I think that I like am literally picturing them at the door listening.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you need to be very clear about that. I'm saying I understood that that's what it sounded like, but I'm not entirely sure that that's actually what's happening, right? So we got to be very clear about that. But here's the other thing. This guy already fucked his girlfriend in the house with the parents when they were sleeping in the same bed. He already said that. He said that. He said, I think they already know that we have slept together because we sleep in the same bed. And I know he didn't say we fucked in that bed, but that was obviously what happened, right? Like he went over, stayed with his parent, with his girlfriend's parents, and he definitely fucked her in her bedroom, and like probably her childhood bed, right? Like that's what happened. Bro, you already did this. You already did this. Like, what's the problem? Like, you already did this shit, then you woke up, and you went downstairs, and his mom was like, you want some fucking orange juice? Like, this shit already happened. You already fucked her in front of her parents. What's the problem? Like, great, let's get somebody else in here. Tell her, hey, make some loud noises or some shit, make me sound good, whatever. Like, let's get into this shit. But you already did this. He already fucked her in front of his parents. That is something that has already occurred. I know he didn't say that explicitly, but it's very, like, nobody, this dude's 23. There is nobody who's sleeping in the same bed as somebody on a fucking vacation and isn't having sex. That's just a fact. Like, that shit's not happening. So this dude already fucked his girlfriend in front of his family, in front of her family. And now he's like, oh, now I'm pee shy? Like, no, bro, you got that. And then they gave you a fucking meal to celebrate. Like, you woke up the next day and they were like, here's some fucking bacon and eggs. That's what I'm talking about. Like, he already did this. So what's the problem, man? Stop getting in your own head so much, But this is what I'm telling you. If you're in your head, like, tell her, like, hey, look, we got to be a little adventurous. Like, hey, I'm going to need you to make some noises, like make me sound better than I might be. Like, let's get some shit done. And let's kick this marriage off right. That's what I'm saying. Like, absolutely he should be fucking her in front of his family, in front of her family. Especially because this is the only family this guy's got. Dude, you don't want to piss off your family. You don't even talk to yours. Now you're going to piss this one off? Come on, dude. Let's think here. Let's think long term, okay? Let's think long term, right? I don't know. What's this guy going to last on his wedding night? 3 minutes? Something like that? Dude, it's 3 minutes of your life for the next fucking 40 years, theoretically. Come on, dude. Let's think long term here. Just do it. You already did it. Crack the fucking door open. Let the dad see that you're spanking his daughter. I don't give a shit. Do something. But like, let's not pretend like you haven't already done this shit. You know what I mean? Like, this is easy. This makes perfect sense to me. Absolutely. I think this should be a tradition. I think people should start doing this. I think that if you get married to somebody, their dad should have to watch you fuck his daughter. That's what I think. 100%. Absolutely. Let's get this shit done. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't disagree. I guess, like, yeah, if someone told me that and that was like their first impression, like, or the first time I'm hearing this a little bit close to the wedding that's actually happening, like that wasn't something that was maybe mentioned earlier, I'd be a little bit taken back. But I think your point of this is 3 minutes for the rest of your life is kind of fair. Like, this is a tradition. Everyone in their family, like, that's normal to them. This will not be the first time that you look at something that your wife's family does and you're like, that's weird, because everyone has their own things in their family where, first of all, you think it's completely normal, and then you go out into the real world and you're like, no one else does this shit. Mm-hmm. No one else does, like, like, I had a friend who thought raisins were candy because they didn't have candy. And so, like, she thought like that until she was like 18 or 20. And then she was talking to her friend, you know what I mean? And then she went out and she was like, people have candy. And I thought raisins were like sweet, and it's just like, that's a much smaller thing, but it's just that happen. Those little moments happen all the time. She already said, if you don't actually, like, you're saying capitalize on it and do some freaky shit. She already said, if you don't want to have sex, you don't have to. It's just acting. Like, I'm just saying, if like, what is wrong with that?
That's a lie. That's a fucking lie, bro. Do not believe that shit. That is a fucking lie.
Oh, whatever.
She is lying to you.
I bet half the other family
pissed.
has like.
She's gonna be so pissed if that shit doesn't happen. I'm telling you right now. Don't give this guy that out. Like we need to let's come on, dude. Let's get up for something. Let's get that dick hard for something like that. We need to help this guy.
If you don't want to do something, you shouldn't have to do it.
Look, I understand where you're coming from. That's usually my stance, but I'm telling you right now that was a fucking bold-faced lie that chick said. She's gonna be super pissed. She's gonna be super pissed.
Gonna be less pissed if you at least pretend. Is all I'm saying.
No, I'm saying I don't even think she's gonna want to pretend. I'm telling you right now, that was a fucking lie. Like she said that shit just so that you would get in the thing, and then and honestly, she probably knows it's kind of weird. So she's probably getting fucking revving herself up to do some weird shit anyways. You know what I mean? Like she's probably already thinking that way. She's not like, oh, this is a normal session. She's like, look, we got to put on a show. Like, let's do something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just telling you, that's a lie. Like that part, that was a fucking lie. Like she said that, I get it, whatever. That's not true. Like people lie to each other all the time. That's definitely a lie, 100%. Absolutely. You disagree?
I already said I disagree.
Right, well,
like if he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to. Like,
look,
at least find a compromise. A marriage should be a compromise.
Look, man,
the fact that you don't think so is
go into your marriage,
kind of absurd, but whatever.
Go into your marriage as naive as she would go into her marriage. Like, it's fine. Like, go do whatever you want. Fucking ruin your marriage on night one. Like, that's fine. Do whatever you want. Just listen to my advice. I'm telling you, like, this is the shit. But don't pretend like you haven't already done this stuff. I'm telling you, like, you've already done this.
Yeah, that was a fair point.
I'm telling like, he already did this. You already fucked her, man. And you probably did weird shit, too. Like, you probably, you were like, hey, you know what? Like, it's not just like, let's do something different than just like missionary. Like, let's get into this shit, Like, you probably already did that. So I don't, like, this is not a thing. Like, this dude's like, he's psyching himself out for no reason. Dude, you already fucked her, man. You already fucked her. In front of her parents, unless she lives in like some gigantic fucking mansion, like, they probably heard you. I don't know what to tell you. So, look, I hope this guy figures it out. I hope he, just listens to this advice and stops psyching himself out. Stops getting so freaked out about this. It is what it is, man. It might be weird, but don't worry about it. You're part of this family now, so, do your thing. I think we did it. I don't know. What do you think? You think we did it?
I think we did it.
All right. Excellent. I do always enjoy those wedding ones because, again, it's crazy shit like this that comes out. Like, this is not a normal problem. This is not an everyday thing, so I like getting into that, seeing what other people are getting into. So we appreciate everybody listening. If you have questions, wedding related, relationship related, life advice, whatever you got, you can hit us up at the email, which is what?
It is info.yourrelationshipsucks@gmail.com.
All right, so you can hit us up there. You can also hit us up there if you want to purchase a T-shirt. You want to, we got the I Got Dennis T-shirt. We got a Karma Cancer T-shirt out there. Hit us up for details on that. If you haven't listened to those episodes, go check them out. One of them dropped on Christmas. That was our Christmas present to you. If you're listening on the podcast, we appreciate it. Please rate, review, subscribe, all that stuff. Unsubscribe, resubscribe, do that shit all the time. It does help us out. Also check out the YouTube. Please subscribe to that. Again, all this stuff just helps us out. Definitely just play one of those in the background when you go to sleep. Just keep us going. Don't even listen to us. Just put it on in the background. It's all, everything you guys are doing help us. So all the support, we appreciate it. And we will be back next time, next Wednesday, with another crazy question from some other just crazy kids trying to tie those marital nuptials up in a nice little bow. So we'll be helping somebody out next week. Check us out tomorrow for a non-wedding related episode. We are here Monday through Friday, so we will see everybody then.